increasingly beyond technology, beyond skill set, beyond talents, resilience and creativity is becoming one of the skills that businesses need to start cultivating. Why is that important? As we know, there's a lot of uncertainty around us, and this uncertainty also produces a sense of a lack of control, and that causes stress. And when you are stressed, it is hard to make decisions. Our brain can only handle this much cognitive load at one go. So when you have a lot of things that is bothering you, you have less resources to make clear-headed decisions. And this is very important for business owners. So being able to have clarity and being able to make decisions in crisis, right, is going to make a difference as to how that business is going to evolve and come out of the situations. I've personally been involved in very stressful environment before. And sometimes it means you don't have enough time to make decisions. But even in those moments, you just need to build your composure, be able to have some clarity, think through the issues in order to come up with the solutions. There are situations where I have to manage crisis, and especially in the crisis communication management. And sometimes you have to deal with the lack of information. So how do you actually manage those crises when you don't have enough information? You have to, in a way, start thinking about possibility, building different scenarios. And in order to do that properly, you need to cultivate mental resilience. So this is the reason why mental resilience among the leaders are important. But in the same way as well, the workers, the workforce. So another area that we need to cultivate is really in the area of creativities. As we know, you can't continue doing the same things and expect different results. Right? So when you have changes, when you have uncertainties and disruption in your industries, all the more important for business to start thinking creatively. But not all of us are trained that way. A lot of us are very rational. Sometimes being creative means you have to take inspiration from external sources. And I know it from being in the creative industry for many years, right? It's how we actually get ideas and come up with original concept. It's really to sometimes break away from the norms and just go out and get inspirations. And so it is important for company to start cultivating workforce, right? To have that creativity mindset. So instead of focusing on just problems, think about possibilities, right? So a lot of time we have got this scarcity mindset, as in I only have this much resources to play with, and therefore the things that I can do differently is very limited. But instead, we should be asking more, what if? What if we were to embark on this? What if we were to deliver this? Then when you start opening up new horizons, you start thinking about new possible way for you to solve your problem. Maybe resources that you need for your solutions may not come from inside your companies. Maybe it's about tying up with a strategic partners, or even engaging a new technology, or even just doing things differently. And I actually like this book called Eating the Big Fish, right? And this is a book that talks about how when brands have a challenger mentalities, they may not have the same kind of resources as some of the incumbents that they are dealing with, they're competing against. But if they can use technology better, engage better, position themselves differently, they can still be a formidable force against the incumbent. This is the reason why companies need to start cultivating creativities. And there are actually mental exercises and programs that can be developed to help the workforce embrace this part. As such, businesses should think about how they should cultivate a culture that will encourage creativity and innovation. So, an environment where experimentation is welcome, where no idea is a bad idea, really, it's going to encourage more original ideations from the workforce. I can speak it from my experience in the creative industries, and it is intended to be a fun environment. So there's no such thing as a crazy idea, but it's often in some of those sparring of ideas that you identify some original concepts that's really going to deliver good impact. And we also talk about resilience. So about navigating stress. I think it's important not just to help your employees acquire new skills, but also the need to also help them manage the stress. How do they keep composure, even incorporating wellness program within the organization. And I know some companies are already doing that, and that should be encouraged, because then this ensure that you have got a workforce and organizations that is competent to navigate changes and to embrace disruptions.